If you're always bracing yourself for something to go wrong, if you feel tense even when nothing is happening, if you struggle to fully relax in your own life, then this video is for you. That feeling isn't who you are. It's a sign that you've never learned what safety feels like. Today we're going to talk about how to stop living in survival mode and how to build a new emotional home inside yourself. Welcome to Life Journey with Leone, where healing becomes something that you can live and not just understand. Why don't you feel at home in your own life? If you grew up needing to stay alert, if you were hurt, disappointed, or had to be strong for too long, your body learned don't relax, stay prepared, protect yourself. That's why calm feels strange. That's why you feel restless when things are quiet, because it's not your normal state. And that's why you still brace yourself even when you are safe. So nothing is wrong with you. You simply never learned what emotional safety feels like. So what an emotional home really is. An emotional home is the place inside of you where you feel safe to exist. Where you don't have to perform, where you don't have to put up a front, where you don't have to prove anything to anybody, and where you don't have to stay strong. It's the feeling of, I can be myself here. It's being your true, authentic self. Being the person who you really are. And it's also the feeling of, I don't have to protect my heart at all times. It's the feeling that I'm okay, I'm safe where I am. And it's also the acceptance of, I am good enough. And this is what you've been searching for. It's what we've all been searching for. Even if you don't have the words for it, that peace, that calm is part of how to feel safe. And how do you begin to feel safe again? Safety is not created in the big moments. It's not one big or a couple of big things that happen. It grows when you stop ignoring your needs. Say no when something doesn't feel right. And say it without guilt. Don't feel guilty when you say no. And rest without guilt. You need the rest. You need the quiet. But don't feel guilty because you're resting. Don't feel guilty because you've taken time for you. And learn to listen to your body. Your body will tell you what it needs. You know, when you suddenly fall ill, when you wake up and you've got this headache, or you're not feeling well, or you've got aches and pains, that's your body talking to you. Listen to it. And every time you do this, and the more often that you do this, you're teaching yourself that I am safe here. And slowly, your body believes you. You don't need to brace yourself anymore. You are allowed to live without tension. The problem is that you've lived with tension for so long, or fear, or anxiety, or unhappiness, that you don't actually know how to live without it anymore. It's become your new normal. It's become who you are. And it's not that we want it. It's not that we create it. It's just that you've had to protect yourself, or you're in circumstances, or your external circumstances, or your life, even from childhood, has been such that that is the only way that you could cope and live through what you've gone through. But you don't need to stay on guard all the time. You don't need to expect disappointment as a normal life. You don't need to expect disappointment always. And you don't always need to prepare for loss. Because you've survived being strong, you have been strong, you've gotten to where you are, using whatever mechanisms worked for you. But the reality is that all of us at some stage say, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I want the peace. I want the calm. And now you're allowed to be safe. You're allowed to allow that safety into your life. You're allowed to be safe. And safety isn't weakness, okay? It's not saying, okay, I'm going to allow people to walk all over me or treat me badly. No, that's not what it's about. It's about healing. It's about healing what you've gone through, where you've been, where you've come from. And healing isn't a once-off. It doesn't start today and end and have an expiration date. Healing is a part of our lives. And you keep healing. I keep healing. We grow. And then something else comes up and you heal it. And you move. And that is all part of growth. That is all part of you growing as a person. And who you become in life. And who you've become to date. And having peace and calm and your emotional safety and feeling safe within yourself. Because your stress and your anxiety, your fear, that's become your natural way of being inside of yourself. But you deserve to have a life where your body is relaxed, where your heart can soften, where you don't have to feel that you have to keep a distance between yourself and other people, where you don't have to feel that you have to protect yourself all the time, where your mind can rest. Let's face it, we can all live, and I'm really guilty of that. We can all live in our minds so much that our minds just never stops. They just never stop. We're in it all the time. We're planning. You're thinking ahead the whole time. You don't have to think ahead the whole time. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to breathe. And you don't need to go back to who you were. And there's nothing wrong with who you were. Give yourself credit that you became the person that you are through what you had to do. But you are building something new. A life that feels like home. A life that is filled with peace and calm and happiness. And an acceptance and loving yourself. So you're not broken. You are learning safety. And this is the beginning of your new life. So stay with me, because you don't have to do this alone. Thank you for joining me. Please hit the like, share and subscribe button. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.